These highlights are brought to you in association with Scott Wilson, sponsors of Haddington Rugby Club and supporters of Scottish Rugby.
This afternoon we're at Nielsen Park for the Scottish Hydroelectric Premier Division 2 match between Haddington and Hillhead Jordanhill. Haddington aiming for promotion but slipped up last week at Philip Hawke where they lost to Selkirk, and early on it looked as though Hills might take an early lead with that Karen Boyd drop goal coming off the post in the first minute, but Haddington showing what they're so good at, the long, the dangerous and the effective counter-attack taking play all the way downfield into the Hills 22, and that's where play stayed for quite a long time until, well, Hills started to rumble a wee bit, and Stuart Todd leading that charge, and then the ball from Andrew Gilman out, and wow, what a run by skipper Cammy Kerr, and that inside pass to Stuart Rose just fumbled at the last minute in that tackle by Jamie Peters. There was no scoring in the first 20 minutes, but into the second quarter, Haddington turned the screw, drive on there by Nico Maybury, and a loose ball snaffled up by Loch Bob Snodgrass, who plunged over for the opening try. Up came Jamie Peters, over went the conversion as it so often does from the boot of the Haddington number 10. And having got themselves on the board, Haddington wasted no time in adding to that score. Lovely ball out there to Callum Coburn, inside pass to Callum Mark, holding the ball up beautifully, and fullback Brock Gibbon on his elbow to go in from all of 35 yards under the post. That was a cracking try. There wasn't an awful lot Hills defence could do about that one, and Peters again adding the conversion, and at 14-0 ahead after 23 minutes. Haddington beginning to look very, very comfortable indeed. But Hills were by no means out of it, and this fantastic wee break by Andy Gilman. Look at that, the scrum half. Lovely outside break. One shimmy, then another, but the third one didn't full back. Brock Gibbon hammering him into touch, but Hills keeping up the pressure in the Haddington danger zone. At Haddington showing just how dangerous they can be from deep. Ball out to captain Donald Snodgrass. Snodgrass going to ground, and then, well, if you want to make some ground, give it to a big thundering hooker like Craig Adam. Then the ball out to Callum Mark again. Lovely pass out to Brock Gibbon, this time from the halfway line on the 10-metre line, chips ahead, and was the ball going to sit up? Beautifully for the big fullback to go in for his second try in 11 minutes under the posts, giving Peters the easiest of conversions. And suddenly 21 points adrift. Hills were, despite all their efforts in defence, really under the cosh. Another long kick downfield taken by Andy Eagleton, running back straight into trouble, and holding on, says referee Kenny Rudkin. Thanks very much. Grabbed by prop Gary Glass, showing a fair bit of pace for a big man. And some beautifully balanced running there by Callum Mark. Deserved a try himself, but out to wing Rodri Thomas, and 4 minutes from half time. That was bonus point time for Haddington. Peters again slotted over the conversion to make it a perfect 4 out of 4. Haddington going in at half time, 28 points to 0 ahead.
These highlights are brought to you in association with Scott Wilson, sponsors of Haddington Rugby Club and supporters of Scottish Rugby.
At 28 points to 0 down going into the second half. Hills might have looked out of it, but my goodness, they showed an awful lot of spirit, asking serious questions of the Haddington defence. The big men thundering into the heart of the Haddington defence there, and then Andrew Gilman prodding, probing. Oh, lovely pass there from Stuart Ross to David Patterson, and Stuart Todd hauled down agonisingly close to the line for what would have been a cracking try for the visitors. Hills held out, defence well organised, missing no tackles until, well, it was 25 minutes into the second half before Haddington could add to their score. It got a wee bit scrappy. Graham Waugh put Callum Mark into a wee bit of bother, but the ball laid back on the Haddington side. Jamie Peters wee chip through, and then his pop-up pass to Paddy Brown right on his elbow. Bit of controversy about that one, but referee Cammy Rudkin, no doubt that it was a try. And then came Hill's moment of glory. Andrew Gilman, lovely ball there to Andy Eagleton. Eagleton going inside, then going outside, keeping the ball alive. The Hills forwards piling in. Gilman whipping the ball out, and then it reached prop Gavin Blackburn. The big fella thundered in under the post for former Haddington man Kern Boyd to take quick drop conversion and put 7 points on the board for Hills. Game was almost into injury time, and there was one final play. Delightful pop-up pass there from Callum Mark, and Rodri Thomas in for try number 6 for Haddington. Jamie Peters with a final conversion. That scoreline of 40 points to 7. Very comfortable for Haddington. Hard luck for Hills.
I think we played very well in the first half. Hillhead actually came out and played very good rugby against us today. In fact, they asked us a lot more questions in a lot of the games that we've in defence and a lot of the games we've had so far. But we're absolutely delighted to score 6 tries again and get another 5 points, and hopefully keep us up in the top areas of the league, which is where obviously we're really trying hard to look for a promotion spot.
That promotion spot comes a step nearer with Haddington going top of Premier 2. Hills gave their all this afternoon, but we could be looking at the side here that could take the title. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Nielsen Park.
These highlights are brought to you in association with Scott Wilson, sponsors of Haddington Rugby Club and supporters of Scottish Rugby.